so excited for this project, and I selected my book based on size, not based on topic. So I know I needed a bigger book for my idea. So it is about 8 1/4 inches wide and 11 1/4 high. And so when I open it up, I have quite a large canvas, which is going to work out really well to do Santa and his sleigh with his reindeer. Now the middle pages had some dark coloring on it, and I know that would be difficult to cover, so I just flipped back a couple of more until I got one that had a fairly white background. So how I like to start is I will Mod Podge my first 5 or so pages. Now I'm going to open back up to roughly the middle, which was around page 200. So what I'll do is go in every few pages, I'll put some Mod Podge, and I'll start curving it a little bit. And I'm not doing the whole page because if you want it to arch a little bit, you don't want really good adhesion. I'm going to take Mod Podge on my brush and I'm going to go over the sides, and that's what's really going to keep things in place. So my gesso's dry and I have my castings made. Normally I would make my castings out of clay. That's my preferred method. But for a live and with the corresponding dry times, I used resin. So I'm going to have to do a couple of tricks here, which will be fine. So that's the layout that I'm going to use. I think I'm going to put a moon right there, but that is something I'm waiting on still. And then I've created a skyline of some houses for them to fly over. This is going to be a template that I'm going to provide to you absolutely free of charge. You can just download it, and I'll have the link to that in the description of this video. Now I want to paint my background. I'm going to use DIY paint in Hey Sailor, I think some crinoline and some white. So now what I'm going to do for the moon is I have cake batter, which is a really mellow yellow by DIY paint, because I don't want my moon to be too intense. And I want to paint it on there while it's still a little bit wet. So the stencil that I just added with the snowflakes, I'll put the link in descriptions. That is a stencil by Liquitex Queen. If I would have had the snowflake stamp, I would have so used embossing powder like an iridescent with that stamp, and that would be fabulous. So I've got my template cut out, and I have a very, very small margin on the bottom. Like my pine tree is pretty much even with the bottom. And then I'm going to end up just adjusting here in the middle. So I'm going to take a pencil, and I'm just going to trace around here. This one, I'm just going to make sure that his back leg and his front leg are attached, because I kind of like him coming off of the book. So I had a really difficult time deciding how to finish these houses. In fact, I think I painted them about 3 different times. I ended up liking the black paint, and later on in the video, you'll see that I use pale gold metallic paint by Paint COUTURE to trim out the windows and to use it to accent the mold elements and the outside of the book. In the end, I was really happy with how it came out. I wanted the pages to blend in with the book more, so I used the same colors of paint that I used on the background, blending and dry brushing as I went along, trying to make it look weathered and distressed. So I'm going to run it right along the edge of the book. The edge of some of the pages. This is black chiffon, and it's a real muted black glaze that just adds magic to everything that you use it on. Now I'm going to work on the snowflakes. I thought about using German glass glitter, but with all the molds and everything, it's going to be easier for me to use one of my pens. So I have a snow crystal pen and an ice crystal pen. And the difference being they're both iridescent, but the snow crystal pen will be more opaque than the ice crystal pen. So I'm going to use that one for sure on the snowflakes. So I printed my words on a heavier cardstock, kind of like a manila color. And I have Merry Christmas to all and to all a good night. The font for this is called Scriptina Pro, and I download it from defont.com. What I like to do is I want these to look like they're aged. So I just kind of bend them. Now I'll take my Tim Holtz Distress Ink, and I'm going to start with Antique Linen, but my blending pad already has a bunch of different colors on it, so it's not going to come out a true antique linen. And I'm just going to antique around it. And I'm just going to go around the edge. And I'll bring it in a little bit, like messy. That's why I picked kind of a cruddier brush. Now I have, this is going to be tricky, waxed cotton cord, and I got this at Hobby Lobby. And what I'm going to do with this is go from Santa's hands to the reindeer. I suppose you could use hot glue too, would work. And I'm just going to slide the end of that into that dollop. Okay, I'm going to use that same glue to glue these into place. And I think that is good.